Welcome to our Costa Rica series. More than likely, you clicked on this video to help you plan an upcoming trip to Costa Rica for yourself. Follow along for our adventure where we share our tips and tricks for exploring and navigating through this beautiful slice of Central America. We kick off with our arrival into San Jose and journey into the mountain town of Monteverde. We are Hannah and Jeremy, and this is The Savory Suitcase. We make travel videos and write travel guides for our website. Look for a packing list to be posted on our website soon.
Our trip began with a long layover in Houston, where we spent a whirlwind day seeing as much of the city as we could. We'll link that video down below for you to watch next. We landed in San Jose just after sunset and met our rental car shuttle outside of baggage claim. We will talk a little bit more about rental cars, driving in Costa Rica, and driving at night specifically later on in the video.
I see it. Oh, they're so cute. We spent the evening at Costa Rica's Marriott Hotel Hacienda Belén. Admittedly, it was a little over the top for a single night stay, and probably better suited for a longer stay to enjoy all of the amenities. But it was still a very nice introduction to Costa Rica, with a mix of modern touches in the rooms and nods to traditional hacienda recipes in the restaurants and lounges. The hotel sits on a previous coffee plantation. If we had stayed longer, we could have taken a historical walking tour or a traditional cooking class. I'm definitely going to put those on our list for next time.
While we were planning our visit, we both started learning Spanish with Duolingo. However, some of us got further into our lessons than others.
No, Vera, Vera. I think it says don't turn at the light.
Before we made our way too far outside of San Jose, we stopped at a local market to pick up a few snacks for our long car rides and some bottled water to minimize our risk of upset stomachs, and we are pleased to report that we did not have any issues. We also picked up a bottle of this sauce, which we had discovered just that morning at breakfast. We learned that it is Costa Rica's signature condiment. It's a smooth, light brown sauce similar to Worcestershire sauce, slightly sweet and tangy with a hint of spiciness that comes from black pepper and cumin.
Then it was time to head out of the city. Let's take a moment to talk about renting a car and driving in Costa Rica. It is certainly not for the faint of heart. First, with car rentals, many people book a car rental through a traditional brand like the ones we might use in the United States, thinking that they got a pretty good price, and then when they show up, the price almost doubles. In Costa Rica, they have a mandatory insurance called third-party liability, aka supplemental liability insurance, which doesn't show up on a lot of online booking sites. There is also a strong push for renters to add on the collision damage waiver, which can protect you from the unexpected costs in the event of any damage. However, this is the coverage that many credit card companies offer. We rented through the company Vamos. Our car rental was a 4-wheel drive SUV, and it cost us about $550 for a week. We also put down a $2,000 deposit because we were using our credit card coverage for the insurance instead of buying from them. You've arrived at your destination.
Once you've got your car booked, it is important to know that driving at night is very discouraged for visitors. This is why we spent our first night in San Jose, and then we set off the next morning. Before we made it to Monteverde, we stopped at the Tarcoles River Bridge, also called Crocodile Bridge. We have alligators back home in Florida, but these crocodiles were massive even to us, and the way that they disappeared into the water was pretty eerie.
This might have been the most touristy place that we went during our whole trip, with a few persistent peddlers and a parking attendant who we gave a few colones to watch the car. But we got a yummy cup of coffee, which was more like a milkshake, and then we were back on our way. The roads can be very rough with many potholes and can be very windy with hairpin turns, which can extend driving times beyond what Google Maps predicts. So plan for the extra time for any longer drives.
In Monteverde, we stayed at the Hotel Belmar, where they focus on luxury ecotourism through sustainability, which is a common theme for a lot of hotels in Costa Rica. They welcomed us in with some delicious hibiscus tea and had somebody help us bring our bags up to our room. To cut down on energy consumption, there are no elevators and no air conditioning. We were there in September, and it was plenty cool at this elevation.
Hotel Belmar makes all of their own bath products, which smell amazing, by the way, with the herbs that they grow in their on-site garden, which we will visit in just a moment. The room also had an incredible balcony. Although we didn't see any sloths from our balcony, we did see a few other creatures. The next morning, we started with a cup of coffee brewed in a traditional Costa Rican coffee maker called a chorreador, which uses a reusable coffee filter.
Oh, mama. Oh, mama. No, it's a hummingbird. Oh. Nope, this is one I saw. It's on the other side now. Guests are welcome to visit the on-site garden where they grow herbs, spices, and other various produces that are used directly at the restaurant for breakfast and dinner.
years and years of composting. Well, exactly like 13 or 14 years since this.
I had some last night in the restaurant. Yeah.
Like 5 kinds of.
Yeah. It was good. It was excellent. There are many waterfalls all over Costa Rica. Many of them are privately owned, where you pay a small fee and follow a path down to the falls. Many of them also allow for swimming. If you were here in the warmer months, that would probably seem more appealing.
Okay, well, maybe it was worth it. Go again. Yeah. That was pretty.
Back again?
Here I am over here. Time is 10:32. They said it should take us 20 minutes to walk back. My guess.
Does it take 20 to come down?
I guess I don't know. So we will check in when we get back to the car. $10:59.
The next day, we with a coffee and jungle night tour. This is Junior, a coffee expert who knows the whole process from bean to cup, including the process of drying, roasting, and brewing.
Our tour started with a few coffee samples brewed with precision, and then we wandered off into the jungle into the night.
And they name it Arabica. You heard about Arabica. It's from green to red, and in the red mean ready to collect.
So that's when it's like ripe.
To germinate every year.
This tastes nothing like the way you know it does.
Right.
There's no better smell than fresh citrus. I feel like there's a lot of stuff.
Even today. Okay. Close your eyes.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, y'all are gonna end up.
Okay.
Oh!
Sí.
Wow.
Muy bien.
In addition to the coffee and fresh produce grown on the property, they also grow sugarcane, and Junior helped us make a fresh glass of sugarcane juice. The main draw for a night jungle tour is the opportunity to see the unique wildlife.
Longhorn, Katie, did you see the horn? You see the ovipositor in the back? It's a little tail. It's tasting you.
So what kind of snake is that? Is he a
It's a
poisonous?
viper. It's a viper.
Oh boy.
Musical ones. Big body ants. They are farmers. That leaf is to fertilize one mushroom.
That's a good shot of it. Focus. Focus.
Look, it's moving.
Oh, is that a monkey?
No, it is the kinkajou I am looking for around 1 week. Around 1 week looking for kinkajou, and look, you blew.
The next morning, we stopped at Stella's for breakfast. We had seen online that this might be a good place to see wildlife with your morning coffee. Although we didn't catch any, it was still a delicious meal and a beautiful setting. We also ran across the street to the coffee roasters for another tasting before setting off.
We coincidentally happened to be there during Costa Rica's Independence Day, which is celebrated on September 15th. We saw families all headed to the center of town for a big parade and dance performances. We, however, had tickets to the Sky Gondola, so we had to head out of town. Treetopia Adventure Park offers some thrilling adventures like zip lines and tree climbing. However, we opted for a more leisurely adventure on the cableway. The 1-mile ride takes about 15 minutes and takes you to the second highest point in Monteverde. Probably the angle we're at.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a, you see it?
Try to go backwards.
Oh, I do now.
Where?
Oh, yeah. Look. In the, it is hard to describe. Yeah.
Along the way, the cable car stopped and we got a glimpse of our very first sloth of the trip, with many more to come. Once at the top, you're able to stay for as long as you'd like. There is a short hiking trail, as well as an observation tower with incredible views.
From the top of the tower, it was easy to see why this area was called the Cloud Forest. Our trip was during rainy season, so we were always prepared for the chance for a sudden rainstorm.
All right, I think that's my cue to get down.
We also found out that the weather at the bottom of the cableway was sunny and clear, really emphasizing how many microclimates Costa Rica really does have. The next day, we headed to La Fortuna, along some very bumpy and windy roads. As we got closer to the lake, the roads drastically improved, probably for the first time during our trip. We stopped at what is probably the most well-advertised cafe and souvenir shop along the road to La Fortuna, making it almost certainly the most expensive and touristy, but honestly, the views were worth the price of admission.
Our first stop in La Fortuna was the waterfall. Like we mentioned, it was rainy season and we arrived amid an afternoon shower. However, it did not last long and we were able to shed our raincoats. The journey down to the waterfall is over 500 steps, 530 to be exact. Along the way, we caught glimpses of the falls to give us motivation to keep heading down. The waterfall is about 250 feet tall, that's 76 meters, and is very powerful.
Considered a moderately difficult hike, the climb back up was rather daunting for us. However, we did eventually make it.
You coming?
Sí, from here está muy bonito. No necesito. Fine. No necesito. Está bien.
By the hot springs, you have the towels, lockers. Then there is like formal restaurant. Then here behind we have the swimming pool. The swimming pool open in Hawaii.
Ah.
So, for example, hi, how are you? I'm Pura Vida. See you later, Pura Vida.
We checked into our hotel for the evening at the Tabacón Resort. We only spent one night here due to the high price tag, but we chose to splurge for the evening because this resort offers access to the thermal pools and spa. Fortuna is known for their thermal waters and hot springs, which are naturally heated by the Arenal volcano and slowly mineralized underground.
The hotel offers a shuttle from the lobby over into the hot springs, which also includes towels and lockers for your visit. We made our way to the Shangri-La Gardens, which is an exclusive area only for resort guests.
Our first stop was the Mystico Hanging Bridges. This adventure park in La Fortuna is 3.2 kilometers or 2 miles long, with a total of 16 hanging bridges. The trails are surrounded by lush tropical rainforests. In addition to seeing some unique plants, we also spotted quite the abundance of wildlife.
Jeremy. Come this way, but slowly. Jeremy is not a huge fan of heights, so leave him a comment with a high five for conquering this fear. The bridges have quite a bit of bounce to them, however, we never felt like we were unsafe. They have a limit of how many guests can cross at one time. We never came across more than a few people at any given time while on the trail.
How many more?
For lunch, we stopped at a local soda. Sodas are what Costa Ricans call their local restaurants. They are normally small, mom-and-pop, open-air restaurants that serve mostly traditional Costa Rican food. We visited a few different ones throughout our trip and found the food to always be exceptional, and the prices are very reasonable. And sometimes they had an amazing view, but more about that one in our next episode.
out the main ingredient of chocolate. I don't know if you ever seen the fruit.
Oh yeah.
We'll be able to see the trees today. And this is wrapped. This hasn't been fermented. This hasn't been roasted. And then we're gonna toast the beans. It's going to boost most of the taste and the flavor. So we go from here. We just put it in the container made of wood. Put in some allspice in here, allspice berries. That's what you guys use for pumpkin pie back home. And then you just put all the spices here. This is how the Spanish made chocolate back in the day. It's not like this. Beautiful one.
If you work for it, it doesn't count, right?
No. It's a way how the ancestors made the chocolate foamy. We still in Central America using whisks, molinillos, to make the chocolate foamy. And the idea here is to create a foam.
Okay.
With one little layer.
We got to design our own truffles using the white, dark, and milk chocolate produced by two little monkeys themselves. While we waited for our chocolate to set, we got to enjoy another glass of sugarcane, and then it was time for a tour of the plantation.
So is it the vine or?
They look like green beans. Yeah. And you dry them, right? Do you dry them or do you? That.
And you use that one for... When you go to a restaurant and you see like a reddish color in the food, like a rice chiote. You know?
Look, it's a sloth, babe.
Where?
Middle of the tree, all the way up. He's not really moving.
Oh.
Right in the middle.
Come here to
Now off to the right. Holy cow.
The brown animal in the trunk of the tree. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Let me know if I did it. I can do it again.
Yeah, it's good. We checked in for the next few nights at our hotel, the Hotel Arenal Quiro Suites. The room was very well laid out, but it wasn't until the next morning when we got to experience the real reason that we booked this hotel. Each room on the property is set up to enjoy both a view in the front and in the back with the volcano. You can choose between a king bed or 2 queens. Each room also has a hot tub. We ordered a pizza from a local place and just spent the rest of the evening watching the fog roll in. The next morning, we were greeted with an almost complete view of Arenal, minus maybe just a few clouds at the top. However, in the time it took us to make a cup of coffee and order breakfast, the clouds were back. Our last night in La Fortuna, we participated in a traditional Costa Rican cooking lesson.
This is a hell of pan, you know? Okay. And we could like a half sweet pepper for.
Sounds like it's maybe the same
Okay,
thing and
you
they
can
just made a
keep-
waffle out of it.
Small. Okay.
On the menu was hearts of palm salad, arroz con pollo, and a dessert made from shaved papaya and panela, which is a block of unrefined dark brown sugar.
You visited the restaurant after?
Oh, like a powder? Like a base? Okay.
Of course, we had to turn it into a competition to see who's better. I'll let you decide who you think won.
We originally had this day booked as a guided hike at a local trail, but we were chatting with the owners of Two Little Monkeys during our chocolate tour, and he recommended that we check out the tours with Gerald at Papa's place. We were welcomed into their home for a brief view of the garden and an introduction to the house puppy, and then off we set on our tour. Gerald asked us what we were hoping to see during our tour, which of course we said sloths and toucans, which we had yet to see any. And he did say that although he couldn't guarantee any sightings, he would try and keep an eye out for those during our travels.
Excellent. Way up there.
It wasn't more than 10 minutes into our trip before we pulled over and hopped out at our first sighting. There were a few different types of toucans in Costa Rica, and this is a yellow-fronted toucan. We encountered some rain, but as it was the rainy season during our visit, this wasn't unexpected, but it was very short-lived. At the next stop, we spotted our first sloth of the day. This is our third total from our trip, but this was the closest we'd been able to see one, especially thanks to the help of the telescope. However, the next stop was about to completely blow us away.
Oh, there goes the baby. There are both 2 and 3 toed sloths in this area of Costa Rica. The easiest way to tell them apart, besides from counting the toes of course, is by the coloration on their face. This is a 3-toed sloth because it has a predominantly black face. The first sloth that we previously saw was a 2-toed sloth, if you remember the difference in the face color. It is not common for sloths to be this close to the ground level, so even our guide was incredibly excited for this viewing. Sloths spend a majority of their time in the treetops, only coming down once a week to use the bathroom.
We were continuously impressed with Gerald's ability to spot sloths. I could stare up into the trees for minutes not spotting anything, and he would be able to train his scope on them within just a few seconds. If one of the main goals of your trip to Costa Rica is to see sloths, we cannot recommend a guide more highly. Specifically Gerald, of course, but any experienced wildlife guide will help you see far more than you will see on your own. We wonder how many times we may have driven by a sloth and had no idea.
Here it comes. Oh.
Right there?
That's incredible.
More fully developed, you see?
Oh, that is not what I was looking for.
A full size male.
Okay.
We could see 100 sloths.
There you go.
Jeremy would be happy to see a dog too, so.
After our tour, Gerald and his wife welcomed us into their home for a snack of coffee brewed in the traditional way, some empanadas, peach palms, and locally made cheese. The hospitality that we felt here and everywhere we went in Costa Rica was unmatched, and we are so grateful to have met so many amazing people during our tours.
And spider monkeys are fun to watch. We see them a lot here.
Do you?
But they just pass a couple of minutes and they're gone.
For our last day, Arnold gave us a final full view. However, as is common, if you turned around for too long, you'd lose her in the clouds again. We slowly made our way back in the direction of San Jose in order to catch our flight the next morning, but we made a few strategic stops along the way. As we talked about before, Sodas are a local restaurant in Costa Rica serving traditional food at a good price. However, sometimes they have a little bit something extra to offer.
Soda y Mirador Chinchona is widely considered an excellent spot for bird watchers, with many different bird feeders set up to draw them in very close range for viewing. We also grabbed a cup of coffee and a snack, of course. Despite some signs of deteriorating weather, we continued on to our next stop of the day. Like 10 times and I never stopped.
Oh, waterfall.
Whoa! Is that the waterfall that we were seeing? Our goal was to visit the Poas volcano and to catch a glimpse of the crater, which is one of the largest volcanic craters in the world. This is also an active volcano, so the warning signs got increasingly more severe as you got closer to the crater.
We were greeted with some heavy rain and had foolishly packed our rain jackets in our suitcases already. So we picked up a few ill-fitting ponchos from the gift shop.
High volcanic hazard zone. Oh.
We were hoping that after such a soggy walk, at least the views would be worth it.
Determined to wait out the fog, we took shelter in one of the concrete structures that we could only guess is there to protect you if there is an unexpected eruption. There was an observation station nearby measuring the air quality, which looked kind of like a fallout bunker with warning lights and sirens, so that was a little less than comforting. Luckily, the clouds did disperse and we were able to catch a glimpse of the crater after all.
It's frighteningly blue. Like, that is not a natural color.
Our last stop of the day was to the Starbucks Hacienda Alsacia. This is Starbucks' only farm where they cultivate new techniques and learn from the growing process to share with the farms that they buy from around the world.
We were originally planning to take the coffee tour, but the heavy lightning in the area changed that plan, so we ended up with just a cup of coffee, a pastry that I ate before I remembered to record it, and then a bag of coffee to bring home. Thank you so much for joining us on our Costa Rica adventure. It's always hard to end an adventure, but here's a little Will Smith to help ease the pain. If you enjoyed this Costa Rica series, be sure to check out our trips to Iceland, New England, and our prior cruise videos. Please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see where our next adventure will take us, and we will see you there.